Hello, my name's Tracy Edwards. For my project 3 in EDUC 764, I decided to interview my consulting teacher. A little bit about myself. I am a third grade teacher. I've been teaching for 3 years now at Perry Creek Elementary School, and all 3 years have been done in third grade. A little bit about Perry Creek Elementary School. We serve 637 students in grades TK through 5th. We have been placed in the top 50% of all schools in Iowa in math and in reading. And we do not have a reading specialist. We do not have a Title I instructor, and we do not have a reading recovery teacher. This is the reason why I have interviewed our consulting teacher, because she is the one who does it all. A little bit about our consulting teacher. Her name is Tina Brennan. She has been teaching in the Sioux City School District for 22 years. In the past 5 years, she has been a consulting teacher at Perry Creek for us. A little bit about consulting teachers. If you do not know what that term is, and she observes classroom performance, gives feedback. She builds teachers' knowledge base and teaching skills, and she supports the teachers' efforts for improved student achievement. This is the main reason why we have consulting teachers. We want to improve student achievement by giving the teachers the best instruction possible within their classroom. She does a lot of other roles within our school, but in the last line here, the most important one is that she prepares all international baccalaureate implementations and licensures for the school. A little bit about Perry Creek is we are an international baccalaureate school, and we are set to be licensed in the next couple of years. What an international baccalaureate school is, we look at the global perspective of teaching. We want to teach students in a cross-curricular form. So not only do we want to be able to teach them literacy, but we should be able to teach them literacy in social studies or literacy in science at the same time and see how they are connected to each other. So that is our goal. We also try and look at at how diverse our country is and how diverse our school is, and learn about how many different backgrounds we have within the school and within our classroom, and make everyone feel welcomed and learn in a global perspective for all students to be able to learn individually or as a whole group. A little bit about our curriculum vision. This is what Tina has quoted for us. I gave her our interview questions before we met up, and she stated our core instruction must include opportunities for whole group and small group instruction. Each classroom is filled with students who possess and demonstrate different skills and strategies at a variety of levels. Whole group instruction is necessary to teach essential literacy skills and strategies that are expected for all students in each grade level. With small group and skills-based instruction, students receive explicit instruction and guided practice. In specific skills, they develop in advance for their reading and writing. The teacher is able to differentiate learning for each child and provide students with instruction that will allow them to grow. So on the next slide, I'm going to explain a little bit about what that means. So we, as a curriculum vision, we want our literacy instruction to be used in small group and whole group. In this way, students can be able to achieve in many different ways. Within our whole group, we provide the literacy skills and instruction needed, and within the small group, the students are completing activities in their small differentiated group. It could be individually or as a group. So we have different ways of incorporating these. We have a phase-in planner set up for a literacy block and small group skills-based instruction by using phase-in planner. This provides the teachers explicit ways of instructing students how to complete their literacy block. Phase 1, we teach at the beginning of the school year how to complete the procedures and what rules we expect out of them. In phase 2, we teach the organizational structure and what must-dos are. And again, those must-dos are those activities that they're completing on their own from the whole group they just learned how to complete. In phase 3, after 1 and 2 is complete, the teacher is teaching how they teach their group at the back table, and they also develop their debriefing, which is their their reflection piece. And phase 4 is multiple small groups happening at the same time. We also incorporate WIN groups and reading interventions within our classroom. WIN group is a what I need or what the students need, and these are approved interventions that the teacher is completing with a small group of students that are flagged for a needed fluency practice. Again, with our curriculum outcome, we have a district-wide mandate that we as a school create a trilateral plan. On all 3 corners of the triangle, there are different goals set in place for each school year, but in the middle, as you can see in yellow, it is a student outcome. And so that is the most important thing, that we want to create a student outcome achievement goal at the end of the year that will be reflected on to see if we actually achieve that. Again, with a curriculum outcome, we have PLCs that are focused on strengthening our literacy block and instruction, assessment, and differentiation. We have a PLC group that meets once a week that is mandatory, and you can meet up to 3 times a week. And I think this is awesome that is developed into our schedule, because it is so important that teachers are on the same page and teaching the students near the same thing in each class, and they can also plan together to achieve student interest and outcomes the best way possible. Literacy literature. So within our school, we do our Journeys curriculum, like I've stated before. We teach our journey story in whole group. Everybody reads their journey story near 3 times a week. We reread the same story, focusing on different skills each time we read it. So I gave an example at the top of the screen here about an example of a journey story. This is an informational text, and there are also fiction, poetry, many different ranges of text within our journey stories. We have leveled readers, and on the right-hand side of the screen, we have leveled readers. Again, like I was saying, each small group that we teach is differentiated. And so it's awesome that these leveled readers are differentiated for the students to be able to meet their needs. I complete fluency folders when we meet for our second whole group of our literacy block. That is down here on the right-hand side of the screen. We review our phrases, our sight words, our 1-minute reading passage, and our choral reading passage for the students to be listening to the teacher fluently read their passage and for them to practice at the same time. And at the bottom, here's an example of a WIN activity, and this is research-based literacy activities. Here's an example of a Read Naturally passage that we could be completing in the classroom in a small group instruction base at the back table with the teacher. Literacy informational, again, Tina stated with balanced literacy, it is so important to have a wide range of text, including informational text. It is important to use informational text, but this needs to be taught differently than fiction. Social studies and science are great content areas to use informational text. Others may include in Journeys, there is a fiction, nonfiction story for students to see the difference using similar vocabulary words. Within our small group instruction, we can use many different informational text activities. We like to teach the students the leveled readers, like I was speaking about before. There's also vocabulary readers, and these are great informational activities. ELL support readers that are informational text. So we want to be able to give literacy instruction to ELL readers. I use a educational website, Get Epic, and those have great informational books for the students to be able to read. We do writing, and our third grade, our third quarter standard is informational writing. I use several different informational texts to explain and show how the students can then create their own writing in the same kind of format. And like I was saying, IB, or International Baccalaureate Activities, has several different informational texts that we can be cross-curricular with. So when we teach math, reading, social studies, and science, it is so important that we teach all curriculum areas, and the students will be able to learn about specific content that will be able to apply in their writing skills. Literacy foundational skills. Like I've been saying, we teach whole group, we teach 2 groups of small group instruction, we read together as a whole group, again, doing our fluency folders, and those are with their partner, and that is like at grade level or like reading levels with each other. And then we do a third literacy small group instruction again. I complete fluency folders during that time. We have interventions, we have WIN, and we have our writing activities that we complete. Several different blocks of time are blocked off for the schedule to teach all three. And for 1 day a week on Tuesdays, I progress monitor students. And so I am listening to the way that they are reading their 1-minute reading passage, and giving them the best feedback possible during that 1-minute time, when we reflect on their score and how they can be improved, and how we can make those goals to implement within the next reading activity we can do together. Range of texts. I use several different websites within the classroom, such as ReadWorks, Newsela, Basil Stories, Leveled Readers, different genres of text. Down below, I have stated 4 different genres of text that we review as a class. And the students in K through 5th, sorry, I should say TK through 5th, apply the reading standards for the following range of text types with text selection from a broad range of cultures and periods. Again, we want to incorporate IB as much as possible, learning different cultures within our classroom. Literacy writing, Tina stated, for writing, we use Journeys resources along with other resources to support our writing. We use writing time during literacy block must-dos, those individual activities that the students are completing. We do a lot of writing in science and social studies, and we incorporate writing into all of our IB units. So all of our International Baccalaureate units that we have created throughout the school year. For literacy, speaking, and listening, we create a lot of projects that the students can complete. They can present them in the classroom along with their PowerPoint presentations that they're creating in the classroom. And I use a lot of McKagan strategies within their groups to incorporate speaking and listening skills because it is so valuable to teach those. Lastly, our literacy language skills. We have a Spanish class that incorporate language within the classroom. ESL teacher and tutor, it also comes into the classroom to teach literacy skills, and literacy skills developed within the classroom with what I am doing, with what the other students are helping each other do with their partner work and group work. Here are my references. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Again, this was for Project 3. And the students are completing lots of literacy stuff within the classroom. Again, I interviewed Tina Brennan, our consulting teacher.